To all you Scorpios, welcome for your monthly forecast for October 2014. And I think Scorpios will like the month because, again, a deep, very deep month, and it's the month of Mercury retrograde, and it's the month of lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. So the theme actually of the month is breaking through old patterns, and that's the theme. And the eclipses are happening, and for you it's very important as well because there is a solar eclipse in your sign, which I'll talk about in a minute. So the solar eclipse is on the 23rd of October, and in your sign at 0 degrees, or if you have planets between 0 and let's say 6-7 degrees of Scorpio. But anyway, you will, if you have planets in Scorpio, you will feel it. And on the 8th of October, in the beginning of the month, there's the eclipse of Aries at 15 degrees of Aries. But the thing is, you won't feel that bang on those dates. It's the energy of the whole month. And Mercury going retrograde in Libra gets into the picture of these two eclipses because it's occurring in the same house as where the eclipses are, or one of the eclipses occurring. Now, what do I mean by the energy of breaking free from old patterns, and especially for you Scorpios? Why? Because the eclipse is happening from the 6th house versus the 12th house. And the 12th house, I often associate that with old patterns, even from our ancestors. I don't know what that noise is. It's glass, I think. Collector of glass. But anyway. The 12th house is a very hidden house. It's a fellow water house. So mostly Scorpios understand that house quite well. It's the house of the unconscious. And it's the house of our blind spots. I talk about it a lot, and Scorpios want to know their blind spots, definitely. And sometimes they're realizing it and they say, but they deal with it in their particular way. And so the emphasis on the eclipse is already about breaking free from old patterns. In the house of patterns, you could say, or unconscious patterns. So a lot of gains can be seen here for the Scorpios, because they will put an immense effort towards knowing those old patterns that are not working for them anymore, and they want to get rid of it anyway. But you know, it's Scorpio. It tends to cling, or not cling is a bad word, but it tends to need almost that obsessive attachment towards something in order to know that it's not longer suiting you. That's the thing. And that's where transformation comes in, which is Scorpio. They need to go fully towards that attachment in order to detach themselves from it. And this has to do with old patterns of behavior, probably. And the thing is, there is this opposition going on between the Venus and the Moon. Venus and the Moon in opposition is very stressful. You know, if someone has that in a natal chart, it's stress, it's discontentment between wants and needs. And we all know that if we want one thing and we need another, it causes stress and you're not being content. And for you, the liberation, you could say, is in the 6th house, which is where the Moon is and Uranus is. And the Moon and Uranus is together is very independent energy, and it's energy that has to do with breaking free. And probably where you need to, the Scorpios will need to look at what they need when it comes to their day-to-day life. It's almost as if it's saying your day-to-day routine needs to change rather drastically. And maybe not, other people will say, oh, that's a drastic change. But for you, it's a drastic change. It's your patterns, it's your habits that you do. And Scorpio is a fixed sign, so it likes its habits and it likes its patterns. So they better be good, because otherwise it will take a long way to adjust them. And the 12th house is also the house that the house of addictions, the house of that's a big word, isn't it? But you know, you can be addictions. People think that's drugs and alcohol, but you can be addicted to astrology, for instance, or you can be addicted to music. You can be addicted to work. I mean, there's a lot that one can be addicted to. And for the Scorpios, not that they are going to become more addictive, but on the contrary, they will look at, what do I really need? What is my basic need? And it has to do with work, it has to do with day-to-day routine, it has to do with health. So it's a very good time to change that pattern. It doesn't matter what the pattern was before. Whether it was good, bad, it doesn't matter. The thing is that you need to change it now. It's a good time to look at it at a very new, fresh, different way, and therefore you will be able to apply it. And after that happens the Scorpio new moon, which is all about new beginning. It's your new moon, which means happens once every year. It's now happening with an eclipse, so it's a lot of letting go as well. New beginnings and of parts of yourself, letting go of parts of yourself that may be little pieces or big pieces that were quite obsessive, but you needed that obsession to know what it was all about and to know that you don't need it. That's basically it. And so a lot of a very interesting time for Scorpios, and a lot of things that can be accomplished. Certainly with Saturn there, you've been having Saturn for quite a while there, which is a very slow planet, which is a planet that can bring out delays. And now in October, it's a time that that you renew yourself in a way that is very important to you and your day-to-day routine and your day-to-day patterns that you do, from brushing your teeth to how you eat, how you relax, that as well. You relax too much or you relax too little, it will probably be the latter for the Scorpio. But anyway, it's a very opportunity month for Scorpios, and wishing you the good luck with it, with the whole month of October. If you want to explore a bit more about these eclipses, I've made a separate video about the eclipses, and you can find it on the link below. And have a good time for the month of October, and you do your work, you do your rebirth during that month. Thank you for watching, and see you next month. Bye bye.